Welcome to Death and Aliens, an in-depth look at horror and sci-fi TV from two friends who vaguely know what they're doing. I'm Courtney.
And I'm MK.
And how are you today?
I'm okay. For a second, I was really confused that you didn't say I'm MK. And then I was like, no, that's because you're not.
Sometimes I do almost say I'm MK, and then I'm like, wait, no. Flip the script.
I am great. Yesterday, I went and I got my nails done.
Oh, they look nice. Looking nice.
And I went to a Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats concert.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so good.
So
it was so much fun. I was with three of my best girlies, and we were drinking and dancing and wearing hats, and it was a good time.
I love it.
And then I had a great day today, too.
You're just thriving.
I am thriving. Literally this morning, well, no, it was this afternoon. I finished what I was doing this afternoon, and then I tweeted immediately, and I was like, this is going to be the best summer of my life. Whoever said life starts at 30 knew what was up, because, like, this is it. This is it. This is what I've always wanted to feel.
I am ready to be 30.
Next summer will be your 30 summer.
I know everyone's like, oh my gosh, we're getting so old. I can't believe I'm 30. I'm like, God, get me out of my 20s.
Oh my summer, the summer that you were 30 should be the best summer of your life. Like, for everyone, all of days. That's why I'm decreeing that for everyone.
Okay. Can we make it winter?
That's right, because you hate summer.
I hate summer, and I'm a winter baby.
I know, but I'm not a summer baby either. It's just that this is like my freedom, like my summer. But you also don't have a job that has a summer.
I also don't have freedom. So, it's fine.
Well, there's that.
Give me my winter. Give me my snow.
I also found out yesterday that from the summer camp that I am working, I will not be teaching English. I will be teaching science.
Oh, are we getting back to soil?
I am so excited. Like, my friend who's running the camp was like, hey, like, how would you feel about actually doing science this summer? I go, that was my favorite thing to teach in Thailand. So I'm going to have a hot girl summer, teaching science, drinking on the beach, living my best life.
I thought about you the other day because I was listening to the forensic geology episode of Wine and Crime, and Lucy dug deep into soil, and it really made me think of you and your soil discussions from Thailand.
Listen, soil, things that I now know more about than I ever could have thought I would because of Thailand. Soil and maglev trains.
Yes.
That is everything. Everything to me.
I love it.
How are you?
I am fine. I'm tired still. But I did order, because I am not an adult who spends their money correctly, I ordered Magnolia Bakery banana pudding today with my dinner, because with like DoorDash you can like do an add-on sometimes, and it's like,
yes,
you just add on a new place. And so I was like, I want to get some banana pudding from Magnolia, and they have they have a strawberry shortcake banana pudding for summer. It is so good.
I love that for you.
Yes. And another thing I bought that I didn't need to is this blanket here. And it's a cooling blanket.
Oh, I like that.
And so one side is cooling and the other side is warming. So it should be good for summer and winter. And I slept with it for the first time last night and did not die of a heat stroke.
Nice. Things that I bought that I shouldn't have were these nails. And I also ordered another pair of sandals from Thailand It will now be my 4th pair of the identical same white sandals from Thailand.
I need to order some shoes. My feet have problems now, it seems. But I'm on them all the time.
Yay!
No. So need to find some new shoes, but it's fine. I'm gonna have some rest this weekend. Friday is gonna be just me and Nora in the office in our like little section. So we on Friday mornings we've been doing like Friday morning check-in to see like kind of how everyone's feeling, making sure, kind of talking through what we did that week and if there's anything we need help with or whatever, because we have the new girls and everything. And I mean they've been there 6 months now, but relatively new. And we have like breakfast together while we do that. And so it's just me and Nora. And so I was like, we're just going to both bring something that's a surprise.
Nice.
And we're just going to celebrate. And because it's a holiday weekend, we'll probably get out early at like 12 or 1. And I don't have any plans for Friday, Sunday, or Monday.
That's amazing.
And no plans for Saturday morning. And I could not tell you the last time any of that has happened.
I know we talked about this on last Thursday's episode because when it airs, it will already be happening. But my brother will be arriving.
Oh yeah,
in 4 hours.
4 hours today?
Yeah, he's coming tonight.
I did not.
And then on Friday, my true love, Thai Superfly, my love Tyler, the crazy string bean that I met in Thailand who lives in Canada, is coming to my house.
Oh, fun! You're gonna have such a fun week.
And the last bit of exciting news: the pants that I am wearing right now, I bought without trying on.
Oh my goodness! Wow! Look at you living on the edge.
I am thriving.
You are thriving.
I told you, this is my summer. This is my year. 2022.
In workout clothes today because
2022 is my lucky number and it always has been. And 2022 is my fucking year.
You're going to know it. You're going to have a great summer. Just drag me along with you.
Absolutely. Can you give me some spiritual inspiration for this year?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This could be the day that you stop doing that self-destructive thing you do.
Okay, I did. I stood up for myself today.
You did, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I hope you lead with light, love, and self-importance, self-confidence. And don't be self-destructive. That's bad for us.
It's hard for me, but I'm trying my absolute best to not sabotage.
Doing a great job. You know what else is doing a great job?
Is it potentially Bates Motel?
It is.
Fantastic.
This week we watched Bates Motel season 2. Episode 5. At the end of this episode, we are officially halfway through the season, which means soon we'll be talking about what movie we're going to watch for the season break. Woo. No idea what it is, so I will probably put up a poll or something if I remember how to use social media.
Definitely send us suggestions if you have them.
Please. Everyone send me suggestions. This episode was called The Escape Artist. Like I mentioned, Sci-Fi Sunday. I do not really know why. Nope. Yep.
That is a better title for the Stargate episode this week than it is for this.
Yes. You're correct.
I don't understand that title at all.
Me either. It's fine.
Okay.
It aired March 31st of 2014. And it was rated 7.9 out of 10, which is down a bit. Fine. I don't think it was the best episode of the season.
Right.
Well, not the best episode of the season.
No.
Can you guess what the number one song is?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's Still Happy.
Oh my gosh. You are so smart.
Ugh.
This Still Happy. But
Gross.
what makes me happy is the number one movie,
Oh boy.
which is Captain America Winter Soldier. And we know I love Marvel. We know I'm behind on Marvel, so don't anyone tell me what has happened in the second Doctor Strange or the last Spider-Man movie or the TV shows. I'm behind on all of that but WandaVision. So,
Wait, you never even finished Loki?
no.
Oh my God.
I know, I'm telling you, I gotta, maybe that's what I'll do over the weekend. I'll go back. So, for those of you who did not just randomly follow me on Twitter for no reason,
Yeah.
I was doing a Marvel rewatch for a while, which I will get back to. I have a list. And then I got to Mutant X, and it's terrible, and so I didn't make it all the way through. But
That's fair. In terms of MCU, not like Marvel in general, just
right.
MCU, I have not seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I've heard is skippable. I've not seen the new Doctor Strange. I never actually watched when Hawkeye and Falcon, or not Hawkeye, what is it? Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that thing. Never watched that. Never actually watched WandaVision.
Loved WandaVision.
But I watched all of Loki, all of Hawkeye, and I'm only 2 episodes behind on Miss Marvel.
As someone who reviews TV shows and discusses how they're made for a podcast, you should watch WandaVision.
I know.
Every episode takes from other TV shows.
Oh, I know.
It's incredible.
I know.
You definitely should watch it.
It's on my list.
Yeah, move it like to the top. Don't just put
it. But you've seen my list.
I know your list. And I say things like I have a list. So I know that means you'll watch it like 10 years from now. Watch it like next.
Okay.
It should be like next on your list. Add it to your summer watch list.
I'm still in 2020 on YouTube.
Not that summer watch list.
That is my summer watch list.
Okay. Sure. Whatever you say. Anyways, maybe I'll do a Marvel rewatch movie weekend since I have so many days left.
Yeah.
Not a lot of interesting things happened on this day.
It was Montana's birthday.
Oh!
I don't remember what age she is at this moment because I'm a terrible friend. So I don't know how old she turned, but I do know March 31st is her birthday.
We do love you, Martin.
We do. I just numbers. I don't
pass the time, so
I don't teach math for a reason.
Yes. Well, it's also Ian McGregor's birthday, and he turned 43 this year.
And that year on the thing. Okay.
I love Ian McGregor. One of my faves. And
did you watch Obi-Wan?
Not yet. I'm so behind. I haven't even watched Encanto. Like, I know. Come at me. I'm aware. But also on this day, very big pop culture moment. It was the final episode of How I Met Your Mother aired.
The worst episode of TV ever to be made.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great.
Probably a hyperbole, but also the show was so good and they ruined it with one episode.
I didn't watch the last episode till like 5 years after it came out because I like watched everything until the last episode. Then I was like, no, I'm just gonna not watch that for a while.
I can't do it.
I didn't. I'm losing all my notes. Everything's fine. No, everything's fine. Yeah. So our director this week, oh my gosh, how many notes do I have? Is Christopher Nelson. I don't think we've discussed him before. One of the things he's known for directing is Lost. And he's known more lately as being an editor on shows.
Okay.
And he was an editor on Full Summer, which did you ever watch that?
No. But weirdly, the girl that I made friends with in the nail salon yesterday was talking about it.
it's such a good show, and it just got renewed for the second season like a month ago. So excellent show. Like, got me through some stuff when I was having hard times in my brain.
Okay.
And then the writers, same writers.
All right.
Nothing's changed. And today we're going to talk about, very briefly, because there are no fun facts, Keenan Tracy, who plays Gunner. And as I mentioned in the past, incorrectly, he is indeed Ian Tracy's son, who plays Remo, not the guy who played the guitar.
Yeah.
The band. As a reminder, it is Gunner, who is his son. He is not done a lot. Surprisingly, I think he's fine. He's got like a big name family, but he's known for this movie called Polaroid. May or may not be horror. I meant to look more into it because it kind of looked interesting. And he was in The 100, which I never watched, but a lot of people.
Me either, yeah.
My dad really liked it because he kept telling me, you gotta watch the show. You gotta watch it now. It's 6 seasons later. I never did. So,
right.
I've heard it's a good show, though.
Right.
Yeah. So, that is our intro to this week.
Fantastic.
And thanks to our playback, what is it called?
Previously on.
My brain. I totally forgot what happened last week. We recorded 4 days ago, and I
was going to say, last week, this was not even a short break for us, or like a long break for us.
I know, and I had completely forgotten how last week ended. So if that tells you where my mental state is and how my memory works.
It ended with Cody picking him up.
After he had become normal for the first time.
Yeah.
Yep. Good times.
Great
so we
times,
start.
Really.
Huh?
He's had great times, really.
Yep. And we start right where we left off. Cody and Norman are in the car, and she gets him back to being awake and alive. And she's like, are you okay? What's going on? And he's like, oh, nothing. This is fine. She's like, is this ever happened before? Nope, not at all. You are such a liar.
Norman, you are a damn liar.
Yeah. But then he's like, don't tell my mom, because she'd be sad. Yeah, she would freak out. Like, but somebody probably does need to tell her. It's good for, I don't know, no one so far. It doesn't matter who knows. It's not good for anyone. No one's done anything about it, but it's fine. And she's just like super chill. She's like, just wanted to make sure you were okay before I took you home. Let's go now. And it's like, she's way too calm in this situation. And I understand that she's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I still think I would react a little more strongly to something.
Correct. I'm with you on that.
Like, she just met him. Like, they haven't known each other that long. And I don't know.
Yeah, I have thoughts.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So then we go to briefly to Dylan, and we learn that Remo's pouring water on him because he's been sleeping at the
warehouse.
The warehouse. And
okay.
He tells Dylan, yes.
I had a thought first. He was pouring water on him.
Mm-hmm.
He was angry. But he was like, I don't know, check your phone. There's 2,000 unanswered messages. And I was like, you are very calm for a man who's just ignored 2,000 times. Would not be me. Would never be me.
Especially if you didn't know where he was. You think he was dying. I mean, especially in this business.
Right.
If you don't hear from someone, you probably think they're dead. I think that, and no one in my life is in that business. We're all in relatively safe businesses, and I still would think they were dead.
If someone doesn't answer my phone call 3 times, and it's important, I will call someone else that might know where they are.
Yes.
3 times. 2,000? Absolutely not.
I wouldn't have made it that far. No. Like, I know if Rachel hasn't answered me and I know she's been, like, feeling sick or something, I'll call Nick. They're not even in the same state. But I'm like, he might know. If I don't know and he doesn't know, it's a problem.
Right.
So it's fine. Maybe we're just clingy. but it's okay.
No, I absolutely am clingy. That was not a question.
I just worry a lot. He tells him about Romero's house being lit a fire.
And what also was not a question was Dylan asked who did it. Dylan, why did you even ask that question?
Who do you think did it?
It was not a question.
Who
did
is
it?
messing everything up? I'm telling you, he's gonna have to take Zane out. Like, he can't. I thought at first, when he first came up, that it was Zane pouring water on Dylan, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would just kill him right there. But it was not. It was Remo, and they're now, so we're not gonna kill him. Yeah, and so then we go back to the Bates home, and this is where the way this episode is like directed, feels like it flows better than some of the other episodes have.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of get into a really nice flow here. We have a couple of skip scenes, and then we get to another really nice flow.
Yeah.
This episode, like, content-wise was just okay, but like direction-wise was like,
yeah, I agree.
I enjoyed it. So we come up on Norma telling Norman that Dylan's moving out. And he's just like, oh, let's fix it. And she just like snaps on him. She's like, we can't do that. We can't fix it. And he's like, okay. I'm like, clearly you're a little emotional about this, Norma. I understand it's stressful, but maybe take a step back.
Right.
And at this point, Romero stops by to check into the hotel. And Norma is like pretty fussy to him.
Yeah, I said, Norma, that is a hell of a way to greet a man who has done absolutely nothing but help you.
Right.
Like, is Alex the nicest human? No, but when has he ever done anything for Norma to have any anger toward him?
Yeah. None. And but she also like acts like they're best friends most of the time.
Right.
And then she's like,
what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. And then she's all like, he's like, my house got burned down. And then she immediately like flips a switch and she's just like, oh my God, are you okay? What happened? This, that. And it's like, Norma, you're not friends.
Right. I was like, please.
Friends.
I was like, the man just watched his house burn down all night. It is morning. Give him a fucking key. Let him go get a bed and a nap and a shower. Like, leave him alone.
But Norma, it's really investing herself in this town now.
The worst. She is something else.
Yeah, too far in. And speaking of, the next thing she does is call Nick. Because that's good for her.
Right. I wrote Nick Ford as a sketchball, and you have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
Like, I don't know yet, obviously, but I think he's probably the most dangerous person around. Like, even more so than like Romero, because like Romero I think is a good guy but still dangerous. Like, he could do a lot of things to a lot of people, but I think Nick Ford's like more.
Like, I think that Romero is probably like lawful evil or chaotic neutral, whereas Nick Ford is absolutely chaotic evil.
Absolutely, 1,000%. Like, if I was gonna be one, I think I'd go chaotic evil though. Like, I'm gonna go all the way in if I'm gonna do it. So like, I mean, Nick Ford's got a nice boat. He's got people to help him. He's got protection. So like, he's doing okay for himself as a person.
Yeah.
Other people to be around him that I like.
Right.
Because then everyone else is just in danger. But so he tells her to come meet him on his boat. I was like, Norma, I know that it's supposed to be a modern prequel. And so maybe we're not up to date on all of the happenings on boats. But everyone dies on them when they meet men on boats. I mean,
I did not know where you were going with that at all.
Well, my first thought was Natalie Wood.
Was what?
Natalie Wood.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's, I mean, going out on a boat with rich men.
My first thought was The Wolf of Wall Street, which is not death,
I was
But
gonna say they didn't die.
no, they didn't. But that's why I was like, I was just thinking, asshole drug lord, big
Oh,
boat. Like, so when he was gonna have a boat, I immediately was like Jordan Belfort.
oh, that's probably a
So
better
that's why I
mistake.
did not go quite the same spiral that you did.
I did go down quite a spiral, and I was concerned about Norma.
Yeah,
But as we see, she's decided to go anyway. So
of course.
I guess that's her life. So then we go to Norman and Emma. And I do not know why, but Dancing in the Moonlight is playing. And I love that song. And I don't know why they choose some of the music they choose for the show.
Wait, who and Emma?
Norman.
Oh, I thought you said Norma and Emma. And
No,
I was
I
like,
know. Everything sounds the same. No, Norman and Emma. And we're playing Dancing in the Moonlight. I don't know why. I do not know who the music supervisor was on the show, but I have some questions for them.
I think we could probably reach out.
I most definitely could. I have a list of all of the music supervisors, so I most definitely could. But I won't.
I think you probably should and just ask them if they can come on this podcast and explain the choices.
Okay, but then they may like blackball our company and not accept pitches from us on other shows they're doing. So don't want to.
If they're legitimate questions, though. It's
Saying
not a judgmental. It's just a question.
yes, because we started off strong with using the classical music that Norman listened to in the movie and based in the book. And then we'll go to like Dancing in the Moonlight
And Roar last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then sweet Emma, she's talking to Norman about Dylan leaving, and he's like, it's fine. He's like, there's not anything we can do. And she's like, what do you mean you can't fix him? He's like, it can't be fixed. And she says, what could possibly have happened that can't be fixed? And I'm like, so many things. Like, this is just one of the things that has happened that can't be fixed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's murder, lots of murder.
Lots of murder.
Lots of kind of murder. This is just one of many things that can't be fixed. She has no idea. But then we get a little bit of levity because Gunnar comes in. And he adorably,
literally, I wrote Gunnar is adorable.
He asked him out in the cutest way possible. And I thought for a second he was going to kind of be like, you know, those douchey guys are like, you're going to go out with me. And I was like, oh, he's going to do that thing and it's going to make me really annoying. And then he didn't. He like, was very easy going.
He was like, what do you do after work? And she's like, I usually go home. He goes, sorry, what are we going to do after work today? And I was like, it's like forward enough that you like are like, oh, that's hot, but like not aggressive.
Not in like a, oh, you're too confident and you're being like.
And then she was like, they picked something to do, and he was like, you should pick me up. It's that place right over there, and like pointed to his hotel room, and it was just so fucking cute. I wanted it, all of it. I was like, everything about this, I want. It was
the only happy moment we get in Bates Motel. Is Emma and Gunnar today.
Except for that then Norman was watching it, and I was like, no, Norman has somebody else to hate. Fantastic.
I know. Yeah, one of them's going to die soon probably because we can't have anything we enjoy. Norman's like, he sells pot. She's like, yeah, we're not getting married. It's a summer thing. And he was like, he sells pot.
She's like, great, we're not all perfect.
Yeah, she goes, nobody's perfect. It's like, yes. Also, like, so does Dylan. Like, Dylan works on the pot farm full time.
Norman, you've murdered 2 adult humans that we know of.
Yes.
And helped aid and abet the murder of 2 other adult humans.
Yes. So
your body count is up to 4. He smokes joints. You are not the same.
No. He is too stoned to kill anyone.
You've killed more people than you've had sex with.
That's true. Oh gosh. That's so scary.
here's the thing, that should never be true. Because
No.
even if you've only had sex with one or two, like 0 or 1 person, you should not have killed more than that. Your sex body count should always be higher than your murder body count.
Yes, 1,000%. 1,000%. Well, gonna send me on a little spiral of questioning people's lives now. I'm gonna have to deep dive into some of these murderous people and see. I just have questions now. I have so many questions.
All right.
Norman's murder count higher? See, these are, you've sent me on a spiral.
No. I don't know, because I don't know how many people she's had casual, meaningless sex with.
Well, no, we've known it, like, okay, so she's only killed one.
Yeah.
And she's slept with at least the detective,
4.
her last husband. And
so she's had at least 4, because she's had Caleb, the guy who she said was Dylan's dad, her first husband.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, forgot about him.
Norman's dad, and Zach. So she's at least at 4. So
okay,
as long as her murder count stays under 4, we're good.
She's fine. Still in the moral high ground. What a way to measure personality. So naturally at this moment, Cody shows up. Because what better way to ruin things than by letting Cody come into the scene? So she's picking up Norman to go to their tech thing at the theater. And Norma is not pleased.
No.
You can see it, like her face is just like not liking this girl already. And then Norman's like, I'm gonna go grab a saw. I was like, that is the last thing he needs. Why does he just casually have a saw that he's now casually bringing to a theater? Like, out of all the people, like, sure, you need a saw to make set designs and whatnot. Norman,
but like, no, but they did have tools from renovating the hotel. Because remember, they did that all themselves.
I guess that's true, but
so like he legitimately had a handsaw and he's legitimately using it. And does it mean he could turn into a serial killer at any moment? Sure, but like, I have a handsaw in my house.
Okay, but you also have not killed people.
Fair.
And probably will not kill people.
Probably.
So I'm just saying he probably shouldn't have access to a handsaw.
Fair. Okay.
Especially because the last time he was with Cody, he had a crowbar. Like,
it was a tire iron.
It was a tire iron. My brain. He had a tire iron, and God forbid, it didn't go well. So,
no.
Anyways, and then Norm was like, okay, I'm going to go talk to this girl who's picking up my child because I don't know her. And she looks like bad news. And Cody was such a jerk to Norma.
Cody was awful to Norma. That was like some shit.
I was like, this is not the way to win over Norma or Norman.
No.
Like, you're just going to make them both angry.
Correct.
Ugh. So I don't know what her thought process was. I do not care for her. I think she's bad news too. Maybe not in the same way Norma thinks she is, and I don't think she's like murdering anyone, but I don't think she's going to be good for Norman.
I have conflicting thoughts. Because I don't really care for her, except for then there's like 1 or 2 moments in this episode where I really liked her. Mm-hmm. And then also when we get to what Norma says about her at the end, I have very strong feelings that make me pro Cody just because I was very angry about what Norma said.
Yes, I agree about that. And we will talk about that when we get there because I also have feelings. But for now, Cody and Norman are on their way to the theater. And we find out that she's forgotten the money for the lumber. So he's like, well, let's just go to your house and get it. And she's like, all right, guess that's what we're going to do. And I was like, great, we're going to find out about her family.
Because her dad's going to be awful.
Yes. But we go back to Emma and Norma. And this is the cutest, awkwardest conversation
This was heartbreaking for so many reasons.
So many reasons. Emma asked Norma what it's like the first time having sex. And there's so many feelings because you find out she has no real friends. She has no real women in her life. She just has her dad. And that's pretty much it. And, but you also know Norma's history.
Right. Like knowing that Norma doesn't know that like what sex feels like and has never had like in a good romantic way. Because like we've seen the 4 people that she's been with and not one of them has she slept with enjoyably.
Yeah.
Like she's never done that for herself.
It's always been for a reason, not just for her.
And so she can't. And like she does, she says to Emma, she's like, if you really like the person and it's special, it should be good. But she's not saying it will feel good. She has no idea. She's like, it should, it's supposed to. And that is painful.
So sad to watch. How like, and I was like, how could we ever hate Norma? Like she's gone through so much and she cares so much and just wants the best for everyone.
Right.
Oh, my heart broke in that scene. That was
one of the moments where I was really, really pro Norma.
That was probably the best scene in this episode. Like a lot, because I mean, a lot didn't happen in this episode overall.
Yeah.
It did get your emotions here and there, and I just really, really did it. So now we do go back to Cody and Norman. And she tells Norman to wait in the car.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I was right.
That's exactly my next line. Oh, you were right.
Yeah, no, mine says I was right.
Yeah.
No, mine says damn it, I was right.
Yeah.
I wasn't thrilled that I was right because I predicted a shitty life for Cody, but I was correct. And
you were indeed. And turns out her dad's a terrible human and abusive. And I'm guessing drunk based on the way he was portrayed on the couch. And he so she runs inside and he's yelling at her about coming back, and Norman knows everything.
I said, Norman, you nosy fuck, stay out of it.
I know, and oh my gosh, there's a fly that just like keeps like coming to the light, and I'm not here for it. Oh, it's because it's so hot. Anyways, and so my next prediction is that Norman's going to kill her dad.
Oh,
I mean, I think
wouldn't shock me,
but like
it wouldn't be. I think it wouldn't be high stakes enough.
I don't think it is yet.
Okay, fair.
But I definitely think it could get there, especially after the end of this episode.
Fair.
And then Cody tries to run away with Norman.
Okay. And this, Norman is like, we can't do that. And she's like, why? And he's like, my mom would have a missing persons ad out before I even got to whatever the next town over. And he's like, not wrong. Then I went into like a mental spiral. I was like, what would happen if Norman did just fucking leave? Like if he just like stopped thinking about Norma for 5 seconds and just left.
Bad things.
But like, would it? Because I feel like obviously he's not all okay up here, but I feel like she is so triggering of it.
I mean, I think she is, but also when she's dead, he's still losing it. Like that, I think, is the trigger event, like losing his mom. That makes him spiral even more.
But like, what if he just left? And like, it wasn't about losing her. What if he left before he ever got to the point where losing her was that triggering?
I don't know that we're not too far in.
I think that if he had left in that moment, if he left now, there would still be a chance for him.
Maybe. I think he's too far in.
I mean, we'll never fucking know.
No, we'll never know. It's all downhill from here. But yeah. But especially like because I think Cody is unfortunately an instigator without realizing it. Yeah. But I think he would still go down a similar path. because I mean, her first bit of advice was to threaten Kayla with a tire iron.
Yeah.
And if she were to
Yeah.
do anything similar like that, I mean, the more that happens, the more he's going to follow through.
Right.
So I don't think, like, if he were to run away with Emma, maybe he'd be okay.
Okay.
I mean, if he were even to run away with Bradley, he might have he might have
Right.
taken
No,
better.
I see your point. I see your point.
Yeah. But I do think the separation from Lorna is not a bad idea.
Right.
Just maybe not this one. So then we go to Norma and Nick. And I was like, how is she 0% nervous in this situation? She's just like casually walking up.
Of course, Nick is the biggest fucking yacht in the whole place.
And like, she's walking up and I'm nervous for her. And I don't think he's going to do anything to her. And she's not nervous at all.
No.
I was like, if I was there,
well, because she's just like, there's this rich guy who wants to help me. Like, she is so naive, so oblivious, so stupid.
And I mean, it adds up because she's never, I guess, really, I mean, she's dealt with a lot, but not in that way.
No, but with everything that's already happened with Keith and, what's his name? Zach and the guy who they worked for, like a rich, mysterious guy inviting you onto his boat gives you zero ick.
Right. No, and I think that, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think that has a lot to do with her, like, just not understanding how the world works. Because, I mean, you know, you think about, like, people who have, I mean, there are plenty of people who have been traumatized due to some type of issue in their childhood, and it kind of stunts some of their mental growth.
Yeah.
And I wonder if something like that happened with her, where she was so focused on that and getting out of that, that she didn't pick up everything else she needed to learn along the way, like the street smarts and whatnot.
That's why, like, naive, oblivious, stupid, like, our words to describe her. And it's not necessarily her fault, but she's definitely all of those things.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, and then we realize he's going to just use her as a pawn. I mean, he didn't say that, but
no, I wrote, Nick making Norma do his dirty work is giving me the absolute ick.
Yes. And he ends their toast with to doing what's right. I was like, absolutely not. You are not doing what's right. I don't know what you're doing yet because there's no way to know at this moment.
But it's not what's right.
But it's not what's right. No.
But important conversation that they have here at this thing that I didn't realize how important it was until later was that she specifically tells him who she thinks is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
She says that there's one particular city councilman who is pushing for the bypass and she thinks he's a problem. And Nick's like, don't you worry about him. I'll take care of it.
And she thinks when she's sent to this Brian Fuller guy and immediately goes there, no questions. Again, I would have questions.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, Brian Fuller, not the same person, but
not the same person.
I was like, oh, Brian Fuller, I know that name because that is the creator of Dead Like Me.
Yes, correct.
Full circle.
Full circle. We're back at it. So she goes to see Brian Fuller. Has no idea why she's there, and he's just like, here you go. See ya. And she's like, what am I doing? He's like, you have to go file this. And she's like, what? He's like, oh, Nick told you nothing. She's like, yeah. So it turns out he's been working on this environmental impact report to delay the bypass.
Now, here's the thing. I was so mad that had not occurred to me. That was a way that she could stop it. Because, of course, an endangered species like the pocket gopher being environmentally impacted, 10 out of 10, best way to legally get rid of that bypass.
I was mad that it took them this long to get there. That feels like I mean, when you think about, like, when they don't want to tear buildings down, they don't want to do this, the first thing they can think of is historical importance and environmental effect. Like, that's what it is every time. I'm like, why would that not be where they go first?
Yeah, no, I was mad. I was like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Why didn't anyone think of that?
No, because they're all crazy. And she's just like, oh, this is great. Easy peasy. I was like, Norman, things are never that easy.
No.
I don't know why you think this is. It's not. And, But alas, speaking of things that are not easy, we go back to the warehouse. And Zane is talking to Dylan about going to grab lunch. Not with Remo, just with Dylan.
And I said, Zane is the worst, and Dylan should absolutely not go see him alone.
Absolutely. That's not going to go well for anyone. He's going to try and move him up because I think he still thinks Dylan is malleable. He probably is because he's so young. And as of yet, he's listened to everything that needed to be done and just kind of done it without question. Remo stopped moving up because he started asking questions, I think.
Yeah, but Zane doesn't realize how much more like Remo Dylan is than Dylan appears to be.
No, absolutely. And I think that is good for Dylan.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that's why Zane is trying to like target him specifically because he is young.
He's trying to impress him.
Right.
Like, he's trying to be cool and callous and like, you could be as cool as me. You could do the things I do.
You can rule the world together. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Remo's just like, man, I was really into some Mexican food. It's like Remo knows it's not a good idea. But
not at all.
So now we jump back and forth a bit. So we go to Cody and Norman, and Cody just like pulls these beers out of her bag, and I was like, those are not good. Like, they're not cold. There's no way those are good beer.
No.
Also, why do you just have beers like hanging out in your bag? You're like 17. I mean, she probably got them because I'm assuming her dad's an alcoholic, so
right.
Probably wasn't like difficult to get.
Correct.
But just choices. And then we pop over a bit to Zane and Romero. Romero's just beating the heck out of him.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to know I'm a man of my word. Next time, I'll bury you.
Okay. Before that,
mm-hmm.
I have a note about something that Cody said when they were drinking their beers.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was taking him up onto this field, and he was asking her like if she's not afraid going over there by herself. And I wrote down this quote. She said, "You don't avoid things just because you're scared of them." And as much as like, and that was one of the moments where I was like, actually, like, no, like Cody is so much like me. Like, I really like her because I feel like I get her.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that note, and then my next note just said, "Damn, Alex, hit him again."
Yes. So
we all know how I feel in the nether regions when Alex Romero does manly things.
I do not feel strongly about Romero, but I was very fond of this scene and of him beating up Zane because I despise Zane with every fiber in my being. Oh. I do not. I know when we started, everyone keeps coming up with these redeeming qualities that we never saw. I don't think it's happening for Zane.
No, I never had one for Zane. Never had one for Zane.
So, so he lets him know how things are and is on his way. And then Cody's talking about wanting to hitchhike. She's like, I'm just going to get out of here. And I was like, you can't do that. That's very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
And Norman tells her he feels safe with her. I was like, that's both good and bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy you feel safe with someone because it's good to feel safe.
He's never has, even with his mom, who he thinks he does. He doesn't feel the same kind of safe.
But that also means you do things like tell them your deepest, darkest secrets when you barely know them. Like the fact that
I can't believe he told her. But even less than that, I can't believe she didn't react.
She didn't react.
She was like, man, I wish that when I need to get alone, I have to go somewhere. You can just do it in your mind. I was like, you just encourage dissociation. That's not healthy at all.
Right. That's why I'm like, he can't go off with her. She is not good for him.
But then she took him to a magical, adorable treehouse. And I was like, I said, Cody's adorable and I want a magical secret treehouse.
I also would like a magical secret treehouse. but I also would be terrified of climbing up her thing that she's built. I mean, he almost fell through. I already don't like heights. So that was a little nerve-wracking for me, but I'm glad he didn't die. I mean, it would have made everything easier probably. God bless, but here he is. And then my next note just says, oh no, we all know what happened with the last girl that Norman slept with.
I wrote, oh, okay then.
The last girl Norman slept with is now disappeared herself.
Okay, but to be fair, not dead.
Not dead, but that's very extreme still. Her whole family and friends think she's dead.
Yes, but surprisingly, nothing to do with Norman.
No. And also I did say that's actually probably how Cody would like to go. She would like to fake her own death and
disappear.
So I was like, to be fair, if anyone was going to follow the same path as Brad,
yes,
Cody probably should do it. It would be good for her.
Correct.
Yeah, so that happens.
Yep.
And then they go back to Norma.
Who was being incredibly smug for no reason.
Incredibly smug. She's like, make sure they know Norma Bates did this. Lee Berman specifically. I was like, all right, Norma, now you've just put yourself in a world of trouble. We did not know how much trouble at this second. But and then Emma is with Gunner, and they are just so cute walking on the beach. And I just put sweet baby Emma.
He stops and he's looking at her, and she goes, are you going to kiss me now? And he said, yeah, I think so. And I was like, if that's not how my next kiss happens, I don't want it.
Oh, it's very cute. Very sweet. I am on the Gunner train. I'm on the Gunner train now. I do not think he's bad people. I do think he might die, but I don't think he's bad. So we'll see. And then we go back to our dream team, Romero and Norma. And she's like, oh my gosh, what happened to you? And he's like, I had to beat someone up. And she's like, oh, what's wrong? He's like, didn't you hear?
No, wait, nope, this is not that.
Oh, this isn't it. So then he's like, where's my laundry?
She's like, I took it to the house to do it. And he's like, what the fuck would you do that for?
It's like, why are you doing this? And she's like, telling him, she's like, we know each other. It's different. I know you. And then she's like, let me clean you up. And
he's like, no. And she went full like mommy dearest on him. She was like, no, you were coming in the house.
Right. She's like, we're doing this. And then I laughed out loud at her because she was telling him the story. What story was she telling him about? I don't even know. She was telling him about some story about beating someone. Oh, when she talked about hitting the real estate agent with her bag.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I had to beat up the real estate agent. But when he told me I couldn't sell this house, and he like did a small smile, and she's like, oh my gosh, I thought your face was paralyzed.
Yeah, she was like, why are you always so stoic? He was like, why do you give a fuck? And I was like, I kind of love the idea of them as a couple. Okay.
I know.
And then immediately she ruined everything.
Yeah, it was like, Norma, you should listen to Romero. She tells him
because she tells him that he's like, she's friends with Nick, and he was like, don't do that. Like, that absolutely is somebody you do not want to be any part of. And I realized that they wouldn't work as a couple because he would be looking out for her, and she would be so mad every time he tried to look out for her that she would disobey him, like thinking that a man shouldn't tell me what to do, but like actually he's absolutely right, and their dynamic would never work because she's too stubborn.
And he would be so focused on protecting her that I think the crime families would get out of balance because he would not be able to focus on what he's been doing to keep balance.
Right.
Whatever that may be.
Yes.
So I agree. Which means they'll probably end up together in the next couple episodes.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like the direction we're going.
Checks out.
Yeah. So another couple that should not be near each other, Dylan and Zane.
Well,
Or,
okay, but before Zane gets there, Dylan like calls Norman and like doesn't leave a voicemail because he doesn't want to know what to say, and it broke my heart a little bit.
it's so sad. And then I thought he was going to die. But I was like, of course. He calls Norman and then does. Zane is so not like too nonchalant. He's like super rude to staff, and he's like super rude to like Dylan.
He's like, yeah, I burned down Alex Romero's house because he fucking deserved it. And I was like,
I'm like, I don't think that's how you do that.
no.
That's how you die. And that's fine. And I just kept putting Dylan needs to take him out. The amount of times that I've put Dylan needs to kill Zane in my notes is too many. Too many.
Okay, but then rather than Dylan killing Zane, there's just gang wars in broad fucking daylight.
And so I was like, oh, this is it. No. Dylan protects him. Because he's still a little bit of a wacky, even though he doesn't need to be.
Well, he is, but also if Zane gets taken out and he was there, that's so much responsibility on him. Remember when he had to kill that guy that he didn't even know for killing what's his name? And that's how he got promoted in the first place. And now he already has now he already has responsibility that he doesn't want. And he knew about Gil and had to keep it a secret. And he doesn't want anybody else to die that he has to be a part of.
Fair. So Dylan's fighting back, and he's trying to shoot these guys, and he gets hit with a car.
Okay. And then I got really confused because you're going to tell me that Dylan getting fucking pummeled by a car did not end the episode? When the next scene started, I was like, I'm sorry. What?
Right. So I will say that was a little bit of a throw off, because then we jumped a bit at the end instead of just ending.
Yeah.
It's a choice. And this is the middle of the season. Like, we are now going into our second season, so it should be like big. I
mean, granted, the ending was big, but it should have ended here.
Right, I agree. And so now Norman's getting home, and he has that look in his eye, like, and I'm not sure why.
I didn't feel like it was the same look. It didn't feel like the same like dark dissociated look. It felt just like an anger. Like an actual like legitimate anger.
I don't know if he's capable of having those two separate.
Maybe.
Anytime he's gotten angry, he's gotten like over the top.
Yes, agreed. But it didn't feel as lifeless this time. It just felt
that's true.
It felt a little cold, but like it didn't feel like the complete like separate personality. It just felt like not unable to do it.
Yeah, that's fair. But it did catch me off guard, because normally that's not how he looks when he comes in.
Right.
Like, oh no, we're separating it from Norma. And then Norma, being the typical mother who's going to send her child to the other ends of the earth, tells him how terrible Cody is. And she's right for the wrong reasons.
Yes. She says something that's actually really poetic about how some people just grow like weeds and they're never in the right conditions and nothing about their situation is ever good for them. But then she does exactly what you should never do to a person in that and writes them off. Yep. She's like, Cody's going to lead you down bad places. And like, if you care about your son and you know that this girl has a bad life, what you don't do is demonize her more, because then you're fucking them both over.
Right. And while I think she's not good for him for other reasons, these are not the reasons. And Norma doesn't know about the other ones. So.
Oh, right. But like, she's going to push Norman to do something stupid because she's going to give him an ultimatum that's not only going to hurt her and Norman, it's also going to hurt Cody, who does not deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, do I think Cody's the best thing for Norman? No. Do I think Cody's necessarily the best character? No. But if you look at it, like, from if I knew 17-year-old Cody in the life that she lived and the way that she's dealing with it, I would absolutely be trying to help her get her life back together. Like, not pushing people away from her.
Yeah, I definitely don't think she's a bad person.
Yeah.
I think she's fine as a person. It's just the combination I'm upset with.
Right.
Yes.
But then because of this, I like got super pro Cody because I was so mad that Norman would like dare to treat a teenage girl like that, especially having come from a broken, fucked up home herself. Like you came from a home where you were abused and you had to leave at 17 to have any semblance of a life. And you're going to dare to demonize this poor 17-year-old girl who could be you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Norma doesn't know everything that's going on, obviously, with the girl, but she definitely judged her too quickly and didn't give it the time it needed. But Norman agreed to never see her again after the play. So we'll see how that goes.
He lied.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to die because he lied, but he lied and someone's going to have to pay for it.
So then we go back to Emma and Gunnar. The lightness in this dark world we're in. And I said, so she can take her oxygen off as long as she's not underwater.
And probably not for very long periods of time.
Probably not for very long periods of time, yes. And they're just so sweet.
I had so many feelings about Emma and Gunnar today because I was just an emotional love fucking weirdo today. That was not English words, but I was just like...
Those are not English words, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes you just get caught up. I know. So many feelings.
So many feelings.
We pop back over to Norma.
And, okay.
Yes.
Alex looked so tired.
Before he walks up, she's looking at Ford's business card.
Oh, yeah. And then Alex pulls up and he just looks so broken and so tired.
She's like, what happened? And we learn that Lee Berman has died. Shocker.
And I wrote, holy shit, Norma, you done fucked up.
I said, see, Norma, Romero was just trying to help. And I just had so many feelings for so many people in this episode. Not least of all, Dylan, who is in the hospital now. And we see this figure standing in the background when he wakes up.
And I said, who the fuck are you?
I know. And I was like, who is seeing Dylan? I was like, did Bradley come back to like check on Dylan?
Here's the thing. The thing that confused me was, you know who it sounded like?
Who?
It sounded like Blair Watson. And I was like, no, she's dead.
She's dead, yeah.
And then I thought maybe it was Christine.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't Christine either. And I was like, who the fuck are you?
Well, it turns out there's another sibling to the Gil and Zane trilogy, and she's the one in charge.
Hell yeah. It's a woman in charge. Hell yeah.
I'm here for it. She's probably a terrible person. I'm glad she's
probably.
Because if somebody has to be in charge of the terrible people, I'd like it to be her. So I'm here for it. She's got to be better than Gil or Zane. She's probably killed more people.
I mean, but like literally a squirrel would be better than Zane.
True. And Gil, he's not great either.
But at least Gil like had his shit together. Like his personal personal shit wasn't together, but he did not fuck over like the job.
No, yes.
Zane fucked over the job.
Yeah. So and that's where we ended. And that's where we're halfway through the season. And we found out who the big boss is. So who do you want to punch in the face?
Nick Ford.
Good choice. He
was not the only one by any means, but
he's a good choice.
Yeah.
I said Zane. I think he's a moron and I hate him.
Yeah, Zane was probably my first choice, but like I'm a little sick of punching him.
I understand. I don't think I'll ever be sick of punching him. So
fair.
You know. And who's your MVP?
Gunnar, because I just need someone to love me like that.
Oh, Yeah. I pick Camaro.
I do love Alex.
He's trying to do the right thing, and he's just trying to keep his town in order. And it is a feat. A feat, I tell you. So, yeah, that's that. Do you have any predictions?
My prediction is that every time I think I know the direction of the show, they fucking throw me so far off.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think that's correct. I think Dylan's going to end up moving up again and working more directly under this woman. And I think advising.
I think Norma is going to find herself in some fucking sticky water again because
definitely because she's going to be on the top of the list.
Because she also like was specifically attacking Lee in public, and now he is
now he's done. Yeah, and she already wasn't like the most beloved in the town. Like,
and what is she going to do? Tell Alex that Nick Ford did it?
Right. Like, he probably knows. Like,
right.
Oh, lots of things happening. Everything is wild. Everyone's going to die soon. It's fine.
Not soon enough.
Not soon enough.
Actually, people haven't really died this season.
I know. So I'm getting ready. Next half.
Somebody's going to die. We haven't had a death since, like a significant death since for the entire season. No, in the last 5 episodes, there hasn't been anybody.
Because the only death we had was those 2 guys working at the warehouse that we didn't know.
Yeah.
And the guy that they took from the other group that we didn't know.
Right, because we've been dealing with the backlash of Gil and Blair's death, but both of them were last season.
Right. And now Liam, we don't know him either. Like, we've seen him once. Maybe twice, I don't remember. But still.
Somebody has to die soon.
Something major is about to happen. If you have thoughts about that, you can email us.
Yeah. Let us know who you think will be the one to die this season.
Yes. At deathandaliens@gmail.com. You can find me on all the social media at CECloud13.
You can follow us at Death and Aliens on all of the social media.
Follow us at Death and Aliens on all the social media.
And you can follow me at EMKAY_superstar.
And I'm going to go take a nap.
We will see you on Sunday for Sci-Fi Sunday. Bye.